Hello. I am so excited to say hi to everyone in here in this amazing group. I am Marissa Marsh. I am a self love wellness coach, NLP practitioner, fitness expert, and I coach on four pillars of health. I like to call my seen pillars so that you are fully seen. So, together we set up goals and actionable daily self love practices, which actually create a new personal reality. And so, I specialize in transforming and empowering busy entrepreneurs to level up their wellness, which then levels up their business. So, I am currently joining you here from New Hampshire, USA. And if you are joining me, I would love to have you drop a hello and tell me if you have any self love practices already in place right now. One of the things that I notice is most entrepreneurs really dive into their business and they don't take a lot of time for themselves. And so I love teaching on ways to do this without taking time away from our busy schedule and really implementing it so we have more energy throughout the day. Before I started coaching, just to give you a little background on me, life was very different. I'm actually a classically trained ballerina, right? A little different than coaching. So around the age of 10, I actually auditioned for performing arts high school, and I was 3 to get in, and this was an international school. And I went there for 7 years, and I had very strict training and am so grateful for all of the things that I learned, specifically how to critically think on how can I get all of my schoolwork done and still dance. Usually I was dancing from 3 to 6 hours after school and then coming in on the weekends. And so it was just a different lifestyle for me. And then from there, I actually went to a conservatory after high school and studied dance. And my very first day of conservatory, I actually got injured. I dislocated my toe, my arch, tore some tendons, and I went to the doctors and they said, this is the end of your career. This is all that you have been given the opportunity. You need to start thinking of other things to do. Now, on your very first day of conservatory, after moving to a different state, moving across the country, that's not exactly what you want to hear. You want to actually jump in and get going. You don't want to be told your dance career is now over. And so what I started to look at was, okay, this doctor had an idea of his solutions, but maybe those aren't my solutions, and I can create my own solutions and create my own destiny. And so I have believed that everything happens for a reason since I was a very young kid. And that's what I just implemented. I said, no, my beliefs are different than yours, and thank you so much, but you have the wrong diagnosis. And I actually left, walked out of that doctor's office. The doctor's diagnosis said that I would be in a boot on crutches for at least 8 months, and then from there I would have to go into rehab to learn how to walk, and from there I would learn how to skip and jump again, but that there wasn't ever a point where I would get back to dancing. So by that point I was looking at a year of being injured, and that just wasn't something that I thought was in my reality. And so I implemented these four pillars of health, my structural, emotional, environmental, and nutritional pillars. So making sure every part of my body was fully seen. And within 4 months, I was actually back to dancing completely normal without any side effects, and my foot was fine. Now, I tell you this because it really is a mindset that I had to step into. I really had to step into creating self love at a base level. Like I said, my four pillars of health really gave me a foundation to grow upon. And 4 years after that injury, I did move out and I moved to California, where I danced with two amazing dance companies. And that's where I really started teaching on my four pillars of health and noticing that these four pillars were actually acts of self-love that I was gifting myself. It was a gift that was coming into my life, and these practices needed to be taught to the world. And so it wasn't something that I just kind of had a shift. It was more of like, oh my goodness, I found a protocol. I found these amazing things that I know I can gift other people when maybe they know inside of their heads that there's another option. They just don't know the path, and I was able to create that path and that blueprint. Self-love and mindset go hand in hand. They really do. If you don't have love for yourself, your mind is most likely telling you a story that you no longer love yourself, right? I'm going to say that again. If your Mind is telling you a story that you don't love yourself. It's really hard to start something new. It's really hard to have any grace for yourself, okay? Think about some of the things that you say to yourself throughout the day. Would you let your best friend or a loved one say those things? Right? It's a little different because most of us would not. When I started looking at the things that I was telling myself, I wouldn't even let my best friend, my mother, no one, I didn't want anyone to hear what I was saying to myself. I was so embarrassed with some of the things that I was saying. And if I heard somebody else say those things, I would call them out. And I said, no, I would speak life over them. But when it came to myself, I wasn't doing the same. The path of making these changes led me into this coaching world, like I said before. I noticed these tools were golden nuggets, and I knew that it started with me. If I could make a change in my life, if I could change my path, the destiny that somebody else had determined for me, I knew that I could teach others to do this, and I no longer could keep it to myself. And that's where I really began sharing how to create self-love routines within these 4 pillars of health, because every single one of us have a drive, a dream inside of us that usually gets put in a box and in the back of our head because we're told by the rest of the world that, that's not possible. Your dream isn't a reality. You're reaching too far for yourself. Hey, maybe you should sit back down and be quiet. These things that are said to us are no longer realities if we change our mindset, if we start creating a worth that is not determined by what other people think, a worth that is determined by how we create our own life, how we create our own lifestyle. Our personal reality is created by our personality. So what is our personality? Are we living up to our values, or are we letting our outside create a different lifestyle for us that isn't in alignment? So give me a yes if you have heard these things before. If you've heard somebody say something and it just hasn't resonated with you and you're like, no, that's not it. But what is that blueprint? Give me a yes in the comment, okay? So what does self-love mean? I believe self-love means having high regard for your own well-being and happiness, taking care of your own needs and not sacrificing your well-being to please others, not settling for less than you deserve, knowing your values and stating those boundaries, taking the time to fill your own cup up, and really checking in with your body when it is communicating to you. This body does amazing things and it functions optimally when you give it the tools so that it can thrive, right? So why is self-love so important? When we go out and make a list of all of the things we love, just start thinking about what are all the things inside of our lifestyle that we love. Did you mention yourself? Typically, when I ask this question, especially to entrepreneurs, business is number one. The opportunities that business have given us is number two. Everything else comes before us. And if we do list ourselves, it's really low on the list. We can't think of anything else, which is where we're like, oh, I guess, I'm proud of me. It usually comes with a but. It usually comes with some self-sabotage after it. And this is why entrepreneurs are the number one group of people that lead to burnout fastest. If we aren't taking the time to fill up our own cup, then we have nothing to pour out into other people. Self-love can look different for everyone, but I believe that it must be a non-negotiable in our life. And this really means creating a routine that you can pour into yourself so that your beautiful body function optimally. And you set the boundaries that you can do this every single day because you're worthy of it. And you truly know on a cellular level that you are worthy of supporting yourselves and you are going to fill your cup and then be able to pour into others. So how does somebody develop self-love? Is a common question I get. I like to tell people that happiness is really an inside job. There are several ways to develop self-love practices, but it starts with setting up a self-love routine and doing it every single day. Every single day. This isn't something that we're just going to do as a challenge. We're not those types of people. This is a lifestyle we're creating. We're doing things today so that our tomorrow can be amazing. And so, what I know with all of the brain training that I have been to is that if you want to create a routine, if you want to create something that happens every day naturally, you have to do it consistently for at least 66 days. 66 days. Wow. That's a lot of days. Usually, people give up around day 17. They don't even allow themselves to get it into a consistent pattern. We've got to push and track those 66 days. And so today I'm going to teach you 3 habits that you can create, 3 self-love routines, 3 practices that you can put into your schedule that does not take away any time. It will actually give you time. I promise you, it will give you more time in your day when you implement these. So, who wants to know these things, right? Give me a absolute yes, a little hand raise if you want to know 3 ways that you can support yourself and not take time away from the day, right? That's what we all want. We need more time. We don't want to give it away. Time is the most valuable thing that we have. It's the one thing that doesn't stop. It's the one thing that we can't move. We can't shift. We just have to be present in the moment. It's a gift that we are able to be present in this moment. So the first thing that I recommend is what I call a toothbrush dance party. Okay? We all brush our teeth. If you don't, I highly recommend that you should. So when you're waking up in the morning, typically you have your eyes closed, you're tired. Brushing your teeth is one of those first things that we do. And you're usually zoned out. And I want to shift this. So while you're brushing your teeth, I want you to start having a dance party. I want you to put on a podcast that gets you motivated. I want you to put on a song that gets you motivated. I want you to start moving your shoulders, moving your hips, get some blood pumping. And what this is going to do is it's going to spark a smile. And what that does, that smile that is created from this movement actually sends your brain a signal to release the hormones inside of your brain that actually boost your mood and create happiness within inside of you. I don't want you to say anything negative. I don't want you to think anything negative. When you're looking at yourself in the mirror, I want you to only say positive things. I want you to lift yourself up. I want you to speak life into yourself. Getting movement into your body first thing in the morning sets the intention for positivity throughout your entire day. You can create an amazing day based on an intention set right in the morning while you're brushing your teeth. What this is doing is it's creating a habit that's already attached to something that you already do. So it doesn't take time away. You're just implementing something within the extra time that you already have. The second thing that I recommend we all do is what I call delete. This is where you catch yourself in a negative mindset. You catch yourself saying something negative to yourself or somebody else, and you say, delete, and you immediately say a positive. You can also, if it's something big, if it's bringing up negative emotions, you can say, hi, old pattern. I see you. I hear you. But we're not going in this direction any longer. And then say that positive side of this. So here's a great example. If you get out to your car, you're about to go on an errand, you get out to your car and you remember that you left your wallet inside. Instead of being upset with yourself, instead of being mad at yourself for having to go back inside, for forgetting something again, I want you to say delete, and I want you to find a positive reason for you to go back inside. Maybe it's, oh my goodness, I needed those extra steps today. Thank you, world, for giving me the chance to give those extra steps in. Right? That's a quick mindset shift that gets a positive going and again throws that positive intention into your day, and then that tracks you into more positivity throughout the day. So delete, that is something that you can do throughout your entire day. The third thing that I want you to do is as soon as your head hits the pillow at night, typically as entrepreneurs, oh my goodness, what we do is we go through all the things that we didn't get done and then all the negative things that are going on. And I want you to stop doing that. And at the end of the day, when your head hits that pillow, I want you to go through a gratitude list. The things you're proud of, the things you're grateful for, the things you're excited about tomorrow. I want you to talk positivity and speak life into yourself. This allows your body to sleep and check in with your organs with a mindset of positivity instead of stress. If we're going through all those negative things right when our head hits the pillow, we're throwing ourselves into a fight or flight response, and I can guarantee that you're not sleeping as well. As soon as you switch that and start speaking positivity over your life, especially right when you are going to sleep, you extend how fast you can get into that deep REM sleep. You start actually sleeping through the night and waking up feeling rested. These three things don't take any time away from your day. They're just shifting how you're using the time in your day. These things have absolutely transformed the lives of many of my clients. And I teach them to kids. I teach them to young parents. I teach these to elderly. Everyone has told me that these, once they've implemented them for those 66 days, their life has been different. And so that's why I give you this information today, because I know that these three things will be transformational for you. If you have any questions at all about my style of coaching or these three self-love non-negotiables that I've taught you today, please feel free to reach out. I love answering questions. And know that self-love is a practice. This isn't a goal that we're trying to achieve. This is something that we daily choose to do. We always have two choices in life, and usually they're both hard. So let's not choose the heart that is going to speak negativity into our lives. Let's choose the heart that speaks positivity and growth into our life, because we are working today to have a better tomorrow. And if you're struggling to allow yourself to step into that practice, and that's where you really need a coach. I believe everyone needs a coach. Entrepreneurs especially. You have business coaches, but you also have personal coaches. You have mindset coaches. You have different people in your life to help speak positivity in you, because we can't do this alone. We need to link arms together and support each other, because we are humans, and humans are animals, and animals really like to be in packs, and we really like to have like-minded souls around us. So if you're noticing that you're feeling lonely, if you're noticing that you're not connecting with the people around us, then go ahead and take a step out of that group and look for another group of people, because your people are absolutely out there. They are, and a coach is a great way to start creating that new level of who you are, that new vibration that comes throughout you, so you can attract your clients, you can attract your community that fits perfectly with you, that you are meant to be with. And if this is something that you are struggling with connecting, I would love to have you be a part of my Life Dream Today online course, where we break down all the reasons why you have become disconnected and teach you how to reconnect. It is taught by myself, a trauma release specialist and a holistic dietitian. We have so much fun with this course, and it's actually 12 months long, and you can get started with just $49 a month. And this course gives you the strongest foundation within personal development, so that you know exactly where you are and where you want to go, and the action plan in between it. Thank you everyone so much for taking the time and coming to learn all of these things. Again, if you have any questions, I would love to ask them. I love teaching on self-love and how we can pour into ourselves so that we can pour into others. I hope everyone has a fantastic Friday, and I can't wait to talk to you guys again.